Hi, today we're going to be showing you how to make octopus at home. Just a few helpful tips that you can easily do this restaurant quality um, product at your own home. It's simple, it's easy, and it doesn't take a lot of time. It's just a few ingredients, a little bit of your time, and then you just let it go, and then it'll be all ready. So we'll get started. Um, as you can see, I have a Spanish octopus here. You can usually get these at any local fish market if it's something that they are able to get, or you can order them and have them shipped. They'll come frozen, unless you live on the coast where you can get something for fresh quality that's fresh caught. Um, this is a wild caught Spanish octopus, and it's about 4 to 6 pounds. Uh, I picked this up from a local vendor that got it shipped in just yesterday, and I brought it home for the holidays to kind of show you guys how to make this at home. So why don't we get started? I have here a pot of cold water. So you're going to start with about 3 quarts of cold water. Um, Next, I have rice wine vinegar. You can pick this up at your local grocery store. It should be in the ethnic foods aisle. Um, and you can get, I have right here all natural citrus flavored. You can just do a regular plain flavor, or they also have a roasted garlic flavor. If you're really into the garlic flavor, I would suggest that one as well. And we're just going to go ahead and dump the whole jar into the water. And remember, it's cold water is what we're starting with. Next, I am going to take one orange, again from local grocery store, and we're not going to use the inside of the orange, we're just going to use the peel of the orange. So I'm going to go ahead and just peel the orange and put that into the water as well. And I just like to keep it all one piece because we're going to disregard this after. Um, obviously it'll break into little pieces, but um, the bigger the pieces, the easier it is to remove because you're not going to want to eat the peel once it's cooked. And then next, I'm going to take the zest of the 3 limes also and do the same thing. And don't worry if you don't get all of the limes zest off, because as much as you can get off, see I have a little left on there I'm not going to use, so. Alright. Once you got that all added to your pot, I just like to take one bulb of garlic and just kind of break it up. And you don't have to cut it or anything, and you can leave the leaves on there. Next, we're going to add about a quarter cup of salt. So I'm just going to go ahead and eyeball that. And then we're going to go ahead and use a couple pieces of cinnamon. This, I believe, is an African cinnamon. There's different types of cinnamons. Canela is a Mexican cinnamon, which I would prefer to use canela. However, our local market here did not sell it, so I'm just going to be using, as an alternative, just some African cinnamon. So just a couple pieces of African cinnamon. Then we're going to use bay leaves, and we're going to put about 5 bay leaves in there, and then about 1 to 2 teaspoons, of black peppercorns, and I'm just going to dump those in there as well. And lastly, we're going to put in a couple chilies, dried chilies. Once again, at your local market, you should be able to find these either in the produce section. They'll be in dried. Otherwise, in the ethnic food section, they usually have them there as well. Lots of dried chilies, guajillos, chipotles, Chile de Arbol, which is this chili right here. We're just going to add 2 of them to our mix, and they're really spicy, so just be careful on the quantity that you use. If you like a lot of spice, you can add more. Here we're a little bit more on the mild side, so we're just going to kind of not use too many. And then also Chile Piquin, which is this very tiny little chili. We're going to add just a few of those to this mix as well, and I'm going to add 5 of them. So once you got your pot full of your brine, basically is what it is, we're going to go ahead and add the octopus to this, and then we're going to go ahead and start putting it on a high for it becomes boiling, and once it starts boiling, then you're going to put it down to a simmer. So once you get it started on the stove and you bring it up to a boil, then you're going to bring it down to a simmer, and you're going to want to just put a lid that's a little bit shorter than the pot itself to kind of keep the octopus submerged in the liquid, because it will start to float, and we will show you that as we go. So now I'm going to go ahead and add our Spanish octopus, which already came cleaned as well, so there's no guts or anything in there. It's already cleaned out, and it's about 4 to 6 pounds, and this guy is about a little bit more than 2 feet. I'd say maybe even close to 3 feet big. So we're going to go ahead and add him to the mix. And then we're going to start our cooking process. Fairly simple. Alright. Recording. So once you get to this point, it's just about to boil. We're gonna just go ahead and just take a little cap or a lid to a smaller pot and just kind of put it over the octopus to kind of keep it submerged under the liquid. And then we're gonna also reduce our heat to about low to simmer and just kind of keep it at this constant temperature for about an hour and a half to 2 hours, and just let it sit on the stovetop. It's gonna, when it's complete, you'll know because it's gonna be not mushy, but it'll be like very tender. Right now, it's really not so tender. It's really it's gonna be really chewy, so it's not gonna be ready right now. But we're gonna let it cook, and it's almost like a braising process, just kind of letting it sit in its liquid for an extended period of time, just breaking down, and we'll go from there. So we're just gonna let that sit like this on medium, like a low heat simmer. Um, like I said, for another hour and a half to 2 hours. So, uh, and then we'll proceed at that point. Alright, so now that we've boiled our octopus for about 2 hours, 2.5 hours total, from start till now, we are going to remove the octopus from the pot. Um, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And you can use the tongs. It might, just be careful because it might slip away or break away. But as you can see, it's shrunk significantly. It's all cooked down. And we're just going to put that on the plate. The head came off during the cooking process, so now that it's removed, what I've done in the meantime is chopped up rings of red onion, and I took some of the brine that I cooked the octopus with and brought it back to a boil, and then poured it over the red onions to make a pickled red onion. Since the vinegar mixture for the octopus, it works really well with the onions, and as you can see, the red onions are kind of starting to change colors. In about a half an hour, they'll be pretty close to just a clear pink color. Then I went ahead and sliced garlic up into thin little pieces, and I just fried it in some oil, made some garlic chips, and then took a serrano chili, and those are really spicy. You could use jalapenos if you want to be on a little more mild side. I shaved these really thin. As you can see, they're paper thin, and just because we are on the little more mild side here, so the thinner they are, the less spicy it'll be. The more thick you have them, obviously you'll get more spice. But I like the size of the serrano chilies, and that's why I'm using serranos. Jalapenos are a little bit thicker, so the rings will be a lot larger. Then I took an avocado and mixed it with a little bit of the lime juice from the limes that we peeled earlier, and a little bit of milk, and then sea salt, and blended that all together to get this kind of an avocado espuma type thing, or an avocado spread. And then lastly, I took lime juice from the limes that we used earlier and mixed it with extra virgin olive oil. And as you can see, these are going to be all kind of components for what we're going to make for our final product. Alright, so to begin, we're just going to kind of cut a couple of these tentacles, and obviously it doesn't have to be perfect. It's gonna break apart really easily. Um, I would recommend chilling the octopus for at least a couple hours just till it's cooled off completely to actually go ahead and cut this. Um, it's going to be very tender. As you can see, it's super tender as I'm cutting. So, I'm just going to grab a couple more of these little tentacles. Alright, so now that we got a couple pieces here, what I'm going to do is just take my olive oil and lime juice mixture and just make sure I stir it up really well. And then the plate that you're going to serve on, I like to serve on white plates just because you can see everything and it looks really pretty. And we're just going to put the olive oil on the plate. Like so. You can move it around a little bit. And then we're just going to put our tentacle and pieces kind of all around sporadically on the plate. Cut a little another piece off. Then what I like to do is put a little bit of this avocado mix on each little piece, just a little dab. Then we'll use a couple of these pickled red onions and just kind of lay these around like so. Then garlic chips. And lastly, the serrano. And you always want to make sure that you wash your hands really well after handling any type of chili, just because if you touch your face afterwards, it would not be a pretty thing. However, then you got your octopus presentation. This is kind of something that we put together at our restaurant. But yeah, I hope you guys can enjoy something at home for the holidays or for whenever. But it's a great dish to try out, and I highly recommend everything. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Otherwise, we'll definitely have every step-by-step in the description for you to enjoy at home. Have a great day.